Yo guys, welcome back to another video. So today I'm going to be talking about all things kitchens, and as you can imagine, I went to every single supplier out there. So it was B&Q, Wren, IKEA, Magnet, Howdens, Benchmark. I went to them all and I ended up deciding with. But before that, the sponsor of the video today is
absolutely nobody.
No, I'm joking, there's no sponsor, I can't lie. There's no sponsor today, but just listen, if anyone's out there looking to sponsor, yeah, there's a slot here, right here for you. You know what I'm saying? But all jokes aside, I actually wanted to talk about Room Styler. They're not the sponsor, but they're who I use to design basically everything I've done. So in my first property, the ensuite that I designed in my house, I used them. In the new house, when I was designing the rejig of the ground floor, which I showed you last week, that was all via Room Styler as well. So although you still need a structural engineer or an architect to kind of draw out the plans, I did the first kind of plans and iterations first on Room Styler. And I'm gonna show you this here so you can kind of see what I did. It is absolutely phenomenal. I will 100% recommend it. It's so good for you to see, especially from an interior design perspective, where you wanna go, where you're trying to get to. If you can, use Room Styler to kind of design your projects. Initially, it kind of gives you a real good idea for what you can get, and be experimental, should I say, like try new things, because it really did work out for me. And the whole reason why I can have the whole new ground floor layout is because I used Room Styler in the first place. So I went with the best design in the end, and I went with the person that I felt had my best interest at heart. So customer service was very important, as well as the bottom line, but you didn't want to go too cheap and then ruin a very good kitchen, I guess, or a very good design, and you don't want to go too expensive because it's just not necessary. But yeah, this is how it went. So here are some of the designs that the kitchen suppliers, the kitchen companies created based on the initial design that I created that I've showed you earlier. Over some time, I did make some changes. The kind of things that I was not willing to compromise on is that I did want a dishwasher. I wanted an American fridge freezer. I wanted some form of island or peninsula area as well. I wanted the laundry area to be isolated from the rest of the kitchen. I wanted a big sink. So these were the things that I didn't compromise on, and I think they did a good job. Again, they used my template, but I'd rather design something that I think is functional rather than leaving it to them. I did tell them to be creative, but at the end of the day, I think they decided on what I had in mind, just because probably the most optimal for the space, if I'm being honest. By the way, all of these designs were completely free. So if you're looking to design a kitchen and you just don't know where to start, I 100% recommend going to a local kitchen store, giving them your measurements, and let them design a kitchen that suits you. At least, at the very least, that can give you some inspiration for what you want to do going forward. Yo guys, so what are you saying? So another update here. So the boiler has been put on, as you can see here. So we've got a boiler that's functional and working, but in my opinion, I think the boiler is too low, and I think it needs to be raised higher. So essentially, this is where the boiler is now at the moment, and this little marker here, I don't know if you can see it here, is essentially where the worktop will end. I feel like that's just far too close to the top of the and so my suggestion was to start like typically here, where this marker is here. That's where the boiler will start, and then that's where the top of the boiler will be up here. Essentially to make it a bit more uniform, so I can have a bit of a workspace. So the plumber was telling me that the design they had, or what they were thinking about, was something like this. So essentially on the left, on this section here, would have been like a tower unit, and then the washing machine would have just gone at the bottom there. And then right, I would have my worktop. I'll try to make it make a bit more sense, but I don't know if it's too late. So what they've done has been fixed, but I'm gonna try and essentially ask them to move it up to the desired height, so I can at least have a good enough worktop space, because otherwise it just doesn't make sense. But yeah, man, I thought I'd just update you quickly about that.
We need to move it up to here at least.
Yes.
So if we move it up to here, then we've got all the filter and
everything.
Onto the return.
Yeah.
We've just got too much going on.
Okay.
And it's still not finished with
okay.
all the wiring and stuff. So. So it is a little bit of a bag of snakes.
Yeah.
Really.
Yeah. So the kitchen company I actually decided to go with was actually Wren. I went with Wren, and it was because of this lovely lady right here. Tia, absolute plug. I'll 100% recommend her. She was phenomenal. Her customer service was amazing. And she actually made me feel quite at ease with the decisions I had to make. You're spending a lot of money at these places, so you wanted to make sure that your money's being well spent. I think the coolest thing about Wren as well is that once your kitchen had been designed, they actually gave you like a virtual reality version of your kitchen, and you could kind of actually see the space and say, oh, does this work? So there was some small decisions, like I'd moved the bin to opposite the fridge to be like a pull-out unit because I wanted it to be integrated. And I was like, is this space going to work? I'm not sure if it's going to work. And when I looked at the design and then I went into the virtual reality, it worked perfectly. So in terms of cost, what I'll do is that at the end, I'll do a breakdown of how much everything initially cost, the whole bells and whistles, and then how much I actually spent. Yo, what are you saying, guys? So today I'm in Wren and I am looking for some X-Display units. Essentially, I've just been going around to Wren, some Howdens, even Magnet today. I went to Magnet today. And essentially, I'm just looking for X-Display units and seeing if I can get them on the cheap. To put in perspective of how cheap they can be sometimes 20 or 30% of the actual price. I saw one in Wren, they had like a 16 unit kitchen for £2,400, and you may think that's expensive, but the retail for that unit was 10k. You know what I'm saying? And they have half price appliances. So I know I'm not gonna get everything that I want, but even if I get appliances at half price, so a fridge, freezer, oven, or hob, whatever it is as well, it all adds up, and I can still get proper quality stuff. Yeah, and X-Display of course has been opened, but hasn't really been used or functional. So yeah, that's the aim today. So hopefully we can get something good. Yeah.
Just take off the price. Shame is free. You see this?
I found it's 379 for the sink I want. I just took off the price because that's the one I actually got as well. And if I can get this, I'll be so gassed. So I just found the sink I want as well. So I'm trying to go here and look at an oven and a worktop. Oven and a hob at the moment, and if I find a nice hob and an oven, boom. In curries as well, I'm trying to look for the X-Display stuff as well. I've seen some X-Display stuff that's not that cheap, to be fair, just £200 or £300 below asking, but it's still something. So I'm going to see if I can get a bit more if I speak to the manager or something. Guys, do not sleep on X-Display. Honestly, it's one of the best things you can possibly do. You can get really, really good products for very cheap. My bed that I showed you a few weeks ago was also X-Display, and I got that £2,000 off. So it was meant to be 3k. For the bed and mattress, I got that for 1k. And that leads perfectly onto now the price of how much I actually paid for everything as well. So the original price, guys, and get ready, this was eye-watering, I could not believe this, yeah, was, boom, 15k.
Jesus is
Lord. And you think I'm joking? Here is the proof. This is the quote that I got from Wren. If you think I'm capping, you think I'm lying. 15k. Guys, you know I am not paying no 15k for no damn kitchen. I'll build it myself. You know what I'm saying? I'll be a primitive warrior. I'll cook with fire and wood. Bro, I'll be cooking on the floor. You know what I'm saying? For that much as well. There's no chance. Alright, so the moment you've all been waiting for. So the total cost for my kitchen was £5,658.13p. One thing I'll definitely say is that, guys, make sure you shop around. Rent weren't the exact cheapest. However, in terms of quality and in terms of what they're offering, they were definitely up there. Howdens were also very, very good. I'm not gonna lie. I think the biggest downfall of Howdens is that they favor people that have trade accounts. So if you don't have a trade account, obviously I'm buying and renovating properties, so in theory I should have one, but really you'd have to go through a builder, and it's long, there's always a middle person, right? But as a consumer and as a customer, they think they've missed a massive market there as well. Magnet, guys, do not touch with an iron pole. Like, run away from them. They are so expensive. It's ridiculous. I think Magnet personally have given up on domestic customers and are now focusing on commercial, because it doesn't make sense, the prices that Magnet were quoting. They were like 2 to 3 times the amount that I actually spent. It was just ridiculous, to the point where the sales representative said, when I showed them the quote, they're like, yeah, we can't match this. Forget it, you're better where you are. So with B&Q and Wickes, the prices they were charging for the quality was astronomical. Like, I could not understand it. Wickes was actually more money than Wren, which absolutely shocked me, because I couldn't believe that Wickes would be that much money, and the quality was not on par with it. The options they had were not there. I just could not get it. B&Q were cheaper, but not much cheaper, and for the quality, there was no point. When it came to like Homebase, the range, they just didn't have enough for me to be able to say that, you know what, I can kind of openly go with you. IKEA, I think, were the cheapest ones, but also with IKEA, the quality you're getting is kind of proven as well. And I didn't really like their styles. So yeah, that was my opinion on everything, and that's how much I spent. Hopefully this video was useful for you guys. Have a great week, and I'll catch you next time. Peace.